Okay, and I'm recording. Guys, this is my first lights in the room sit down video. And I'm nervous. I don't know. I'm nervous. A little nervous. Because there's like just me and lights. But yeah. But hi. I want to thank everybody for being here on my channel. I want to thank everybody that's been watching. And I want to thank everybody for coming back to continue to watch. So this video is going to be a little bit more, I can't say more personal because what's been more personal than the videos I've already made, especially the ones in the car. But it's going to basically touch on a few topics, you know, to help a few people, you know, or not. But, you know, basically I'm going to touch on the topic of things that maybe you shouldn't say to people that are going through similar situation as me, or someone that's just lost someone. Things that you might not want to really say, that you might think, and I'm not saying that when you're saying these things that you are saying them out of, you know, cruel intent or, you know, to be malicious. No, you're not. You're saying them because you want to make them feel better. You don't know. I didn't know. I didn't know until this happened, and then I had to hear it said, and I realized, that kind of hurt my feelings, you know, or you know, that type of stuff. And I want to touch on the topic of things that you might, you know, want to say or do. And then I want to touch on the topic of, because I've been asked this question a lot, or just it's been brought up, how I feel about dating, remarrying, the future. That I'm going to touch on those topics, and here we go. Okay, so I have them in my phone. I wrote down a few. And I had like brainstorm. My brain was trying to brainstorm everything I could think of, but I had like a block. So I went and kind of looked online. I was like, yep, that's one. Yep, that's one. That's one. And then so I made a list. Okay. So the first thing that you might not want to say, that you might think is really like, it's just something that you just say. How are you doing? Like you said to everybody, like, how are you doing? Like, that's one that's hard to answer. I got asked that question so many times. Like, how are you doing? Like, how do you think I'm doing? Like, how am I supposed to answer that? Because, like, in the moment of it, when it was asked to me, it's like, what do you mean? How, like, I'm fucked up. You know, like, that's what my brain was thinking. Like, but I, you know, but it's like, do you really want to know how I'm doing? Do I really have to explain how I'm doing? You know, so it's not something that you mean to say, like trying to be mean, but it's something that you say and it like kind of puts the person that's going through it like in a standstill of how am I supposed to answer this question? And it's kind of stressful. So that's just one, you know, that you might want to try to like not really ask, even though it comes out, that's the first thing that comes out. Like when you see someone, how are you doing? You know, you never think about it. I never thought about it till now. Another one, you'll be okay after a while. You think like, that'll be like, oh, you'll be okay after a while, but like, that's still something that just, it kind of like makes you feel like how you're feeling is not being validated. Or like, oh, you'll be fine after a while. Like, come on now. That's just, it's just, I don't know, it just does something. It's like, how do you know I'm going to be fine after a while, you know? And you're not saying it, you know, probably, you know, to be rude or, you know, to hurt anybody's feelings. You're saying it because you're trying to, you know, make them feel better. But that's another one. You'll be fine after a while. Nobody knows that. Okay. I understand how you feel. Now, with this one, even now that I've gone through the loss of my husband, I still don't tell people that lost their husbands, you know, I understand how you feel. Because each person's grieving process or what they're going through is different. So you never truly understand. Even if you've lost a partner and, you know, and you understand how they feel, you still just don't, you know. Especially say if like you've lost like a brother or sister and you're telling someone who lost their child, I understand how you feel. It makes the person that's going through it feel like, do you really understand? You know, it's not the same situation, you know? So it just kind of puts them in a way of, you know, it's bothersome in some weird way. I don't know why. Because, you know, like, no one really understands what someone else is going through when they when they're not the ones experiencing the loss. So saying it kind of like, makes you a little, the person a little mad. Like, do you really understand like, do you really, you know what I mean? Like, you understand how I feel. But, it's more reasonable if you've lost, like, someone who's lost a child, saying it to somebody else who's lost a child. Okay, you probably do. It's more, it's easier in that way. But if you've lost a parent and you're saying, it to somebody who's lost their husband, it's like, it's not the same thing. So it's just, something to kind of like steer away from. Not trying to be rude, not trying to be mean, but, try not to say it, Now these ones, these ones piss me off, okay? All the at least ones, at least. Anything that starts with at least, don't ever, try your best not to ever say anything to someone who's lost a loved one, at least. At least nothing. There's nothing at least. So the first one is, at least he's in a better place. That's like a main thing people say. At least they're in a better place. No. It doesn't, that's not how you think of it when someone says it to you. Because you think, what better place is there than being here with their family? What better place is there? At the time you don't want to hear that. At least they're in a better place. Are they? So that makes the place that they were in, what, not a good place with us? Like, that makes you, like, come on now. And you're not saying it to be mean, but something that people always say, but I'm telling you how it makes you feel. Like, I didn't even know this until now. At least he's not suffering, or at least the suffering is over. That's one thing. I know Mom passed from cancer a year before my husband, and she was suffering. And that's one thing I get in that standard. Like, they're not suffering anymore, But when somebody passes suddenly in a car accident, or something like it's like, come on now, but it's different if someone, is, a long time illness or something like that. That's understandable, but it's still kind of, but I do get it. I do get it. If someone's, really suffering, mom had cancer and is really suffering, you're like, oh, at least they're not hurting anymore, But if somebody passes and, suddenly young, from something unexpected, try to steer away from that one. Because there wasn't much suffering they were doing. They were just living, At least you had him as long as you did. At least I had him as long as I did. No, I wanted him for longer. Like, no. So that one kind of touches, presses buttons. Like, no, at least nothing. Anything with at least. Like, at least I had him as long as I did. Like, no, I wanted him forever. Like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Okay, let's see another one. There's a reason for everything. I've heard that one so many times. There's a reason. There's a reason for everything. While I'm saying this, I'm looking back here. Yeah, this is my family blanket. You see my will here. Oh, my baby. And all my babies are all here. And I'm in there, back there. So I just wanted to bring that up because I just looked over like, oh, look. There you go. Okay, so where was I? There's a reason for everything. Nah, that's one I can't get down with. I don't feel like there's a reason why this accident happened. I don't feel like it happened so that good things could happen, or it happened. I don't feel like it's a reason for it. That's just how I feel. Now, other people might feel differently, but you don't know that, when you're saying it. So it's best not to really say that, because you don't know if someone is going to agree with you on that. And it can make somebody feel really bad. Like, there's a reason. Like, no, there's not a reason why, there shouldn't be a reason why my kid's father, my husband, is gone at such a young age from an accident. There shouldn't be I don't see the reason for it, I just don't. He was such a good person, God wanted him with him. Oh, God wanted him to be with him. There we go. He was such a good person, God wanted him to be with him. I didn't get that one, but I did get, someone told me this, and it hurt me. It hurt my heart. Like, when somebody told me, because I'm explaining, Will's father passed 4 months before he did, and he was really going through it. That was hard for him. But someone said to me, He was missing his dad so much, he needed to be with him more than he needed to be here. Now, that shouldn't have hurt. You wouldn't think, like, why would that hurt you? But it's thinking, yeah, I get his dad passed. You know, and he needed to, you know, I get it. And I get he was upset, but I don't feel like he needed to be there instead of here with his kids, you know? Because how does that work, you know? How does that work? How does he need to be with his dad more than my kids need to be with their dad? Does that make any sense? It's like, you know, I'm not mad at the person. It just hurt me. It hurt my heart to think, like, did he really need to be away from his own children? I don't. It just hurt my feelings at the time. I'm not tripping now, but at the time it was like, oh, well, what about all the, you know, his kids? They needed him as well. So that hurt my feelings. But yeah, so try not to say that, things like that, you know. It could really get to people, especially when people are grieving, especially in the beginning. That's when all these things are said. And when people are grieving in the beginning, when it first happens, nobody's really thinking straight, especially the person going through it. And it could really take them to a place where, you know, they don't need to be. So just be careful with your words. You know, that's all. Just be careful. And these are things that are said all the time, literally all the time, but things that can be super hurtful, you know. And there's another one that you would think that I found this one, and I realized it did, like, you know, was kind of touchy. This one was, you have to be strong for your children, or you have to be strong for your, like, if you lose a child, or you have to be strong for your spouse. That's true. You do need to be strong for your children, but what this says, it kind of does, it kind of diminishes the need to take the time to heal. That's what, you know, it makes you feel like, okay, I need to just stop feeling and stop crying and stop being weak or whatever someone considers weak so that I can be strong for my kids. So just stop. And if you stop, then then where's your healing? When do you heal? You have to go through it to get through it, meaning that you have to, you know, have that weak moment. You can't just turn it off and just bam, you know. And when you do decide that it's your time to, you know, find that strength to be strong for your family, that's in your own time. No one should tell you that you need to do it. Because it happened to me. I was, you know, when I finally realized I need to get up, it was for my children, but it was at my own time. It was a time when I literally lay down on my couch for 3 days. I, like, laid there 3 days straight. Didn't get up to go to the bathroom. That's exactly how I was. Didn't move, didn't get up, didn't go to the bathroom. Was in pain because I needed to go to the bathroom. Just couldn't move. And on the third day, I looked around and saw that the house was dark. My kids were, you know, quiet. Things were just weird. So I got up and I started cleaning. And when I got up to start cleaning, all of a sudden my kids started coming out. My daughter started doing the dishes. She came out of her room and started cleaning. And I'm like, okay, it clicked. You know, I can't do that. I can't lay there and be like that for 3 days, or, you know, I can't. And that was my own timing. It wasn't somebody telling me, girl, get up. You need to be, you know, you need to get up for your kids. No, it wasn't that. It was me telling me that that's something that I wanted and I felt like it was the time to do. So telling somebody that they need to do that is not the same as the person that's going through it feeling like it's their time to start trying to find the strength. So it's a little touchy. It's a little like, you know, borderline. It's like, yeah, but just try not to, you know, tell people what they need to do, you know, when they're going through this, because, you know, that's not really a thing. Nobody's really thinking what they need to do at the time, you know. You're in the feelings. You're in the moment. You're hurt. You just want to lay there. And then it has to be your own time. You have to want to do it yourself. And if somebody pushes you to do it, it might backfire, you know. So, you know, those are things that you probably wouldn't want to say, you know, to someone that's grieving. And there is one more thing. I wasn't going to put it in, thought about putting it in, but it was one thing that really upset my children. And it was at the service. At the service, before the service started, we were all in one room, and it wasn't I'm not sure exactly who the person was, but it was, you know, minister, one of them, not that main one, someone, because I was so out of it, I don't really remember much, like, so I really, like, all of it's like a blur, But I do remember him, they're trying, lift everybody up and make everybody feel good, because this is a celebration of life, like of Will's life. We're trying to feel good. So my kids were there, and he said, if you went to heaven and told Will to come back, he would say no, because heaven's too great. It sounds good, right? Because you want heaven to be great and you want him to want to be there. But then kids don't think like that. So my kids thought, so if we went into heaven and told Daddy that we wanted him to come back, he would tell us no, he wouldn't want to be with us. So that hurt them, Me, I was out of it. I'm not, I didn't hear half of the stuff. But I know that because they brought it up over and over and over again. And I want my kids to know that, no, their dad would always want to come back to them. Heaven is great, but nothing's greater than them. And he knows that. We all know that. I want them to know that. So that's one that someone's going to make me cry, because I know he would want to be with his kids. So, Okay. And we're done with those ones. So just things that, you might not just want to just, trying to be helpful, but you might not want to just, say to people that are really going through it, But I do have some things that you can say. Come on, there's things that you can say and that you should say, because you're trying to be helpful. You're not trying to hurt anybody. It's hard to find things to say. So of course you're going to say the things that people always generally say, not knowing that it could hurt them, because, you might not have experienced the same loss to know what that could do to you. So, things you should say. I'm sorry for your loss. That's when I use a lot, because I'm sorry for anybody hurting. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm very sorry. And that's, the first one. I wish I had the right words, because you never really have the right words, right? Please know I care and I'm here for you. It's best to always let people that are, they're going through this, know that you're there for them. You don't have to say much, literally. You and your loved ones are in my prayers. Saying you're praying for people is helpful too. I feel like everyone's prayers helped me. It was God that helped me get up off that couch, and along with, the prayers. So prayers, yeah, thank you everyone who prayed and are continuously letting me know that you're praying. We appreciate it. So thank you for that. I'm here for you. But see, on this one it says, they did put I'm here for you, but then also they put if there's something special you need, ask me. Now I'm gonna hit on that one. I wrote that down because I'm here for you is like, I think I said that one before. I'm not sure if I said that one up here, but I'm gonna hit on this one. I'm here for you. But on the internet I read one where it says, better yet, if there's something specific that you need, ask. That's one thing. Being there for somebody is great. But when somebody is grieving or going through something, more than likely, they're not going to ask you for anything. So a lot of people now, and, are still saying, I appreciate it. If you need anything, let me know. If there's anything that you want or need, let me know. And it's like, you guys, I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Okay. But it's like, that's why I keep on doing this. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Nice cooking tacos. And the seasoning is getting my nose. Okay. Generally, if someone's going through, the grieving process and just lost someone, they're not going to pick up the phone and be like, I need this or I need that. So it's best for you just to keep on checking in, because even though you tell them to, they're not going to. I don't think I've reached out to and told, and I've needed things, but I haven't reached out to let anybody know that I've needed anything. I don't know why. It's just, especially in the beginning, it was just such a chore. I don't want to have to do more than what I was already doing, which was just, hurting. So if someone was to come to me and be like, when people brought food, like there was days where I couldn't cook, but I wasn't going to call anyone and be like, I can't cook today. Can you bring food? Or can you? No. But when people actually just said, I'm bringing you food, or my friend just said, I'm stopping over and I'm doing this, it's like, like, thank you, appreciate it. Appreciate everyone that brought food and everyone who stopped over. I appreciate you all. So do that. You can tell them to ask, to let you know, but they're not going to. So best thing is to keep on checking, keep on checking, keep on asking what they need. Just be present, be there. As much, as much as you can, just be there. You don't have to say much, you don't have to do much, less is more when it comes to words. Sometimes people just need you to be there. And another thing that now that, that I've gotten through the shock and basically the shock, memories, sharing memories. When people, I can be around some people and they'll act like bringing up wills like taboo, like don't talk about him, like they won't say anything, but I'll bring him up constantly. Because every story, everything I have, story I has contains him. And so I love hearing other people's stories about him. I love hearing, people bring him up and speak as if he's still here. I'm not sure if everybody likes that, but I do. And I think my kids do. And we love hearing, about him. I don't want to, act like he never existed. So it helps. It helps to, talk about him as, he was still here, it doesn't have to be like a taboo thing to bring up the person, They were here. They left, a lot of memories behind, and you should talk about them. Makes me feel better. Be empathetic. Always be empathetic. Just continue connecting, even after months. That's one thing that happens that I'm gonna go ahead and that was the last one, but that's one thing that I noticed that hits hard after the service. There's tons of people there around, when before the service, during the service, but soon as the service is over, that's when people have to go back to their own lives, and that's when everything hits. Like, I'm here, this is me, we're in this alone, because everybody has to go back to their lives, everybody has to live their lives, everybody has to keep on going, but the person that lost, their life is the one that stopped and is different and has changed in such a dramatic way. And you can't, and it's hard for them to see other, people go back to their lives. They were there and then they have to go back. And that's hard. That's hard. So even after the service and months after that, it's, it's nice if you can just reach out to them, to let them know that you're still, you still care, you're still thinking of them, you still want to know how they're doing, it just helps, it helps them know that they're not alone. It's not just something they went through and you guys were there for that moment. And it's like, okay, peace out. We got shit to do. Even though you might not feel that way, but it might seem that way, because that part is real. That's the hardest part. One of the hardest parts is when the world starts going back to normal, but your world is so different and, and crushed, and it seems like nobody cares anymore. That part can be tough. Wasn't the toughest, the general moment of everybody leaving was hard for me, when everybody just whoop, and it was just me and my kids, and it was just no will. That part was hard. But I'm pretty so like if someone doesn't reach out, it doesn't hurt me, but I see how it could hurt other people. I could see how it could really affect them if people just go back, but I'm not gonna lie, like the beginning when people just, that was like a shock, like, oh wow, that was, but I got used to it and it doesn't bother me like that, so, but if you know anybody going through this and you want to really, be there for them, not everybody's like me, not everybody's like anybody else, it'd still be best to just check up on them, check up on them a month later, weeks into, like, just keep on checking up on them, like a text message or anything that you can do. Just let them know that you're still, you still care about them and what they're going through, and that you're here. Okay, that's that. Okay, so those are those things. I hope they helped. I only want to do this to help people. I want to help people that are going through it, and I want to help people that are trying to get people through it, because the people that are going through it, it's hard for them, but it's also hard for the people that are trying to help. People don't know how to help. People don't know how to help in these situations, but they want to. People want to make you feel better. People want, people want to help. They don't want to see you hurt. So they, they try their best, and sometimes they just don't know the right things to do. And since I've been through it, I can kind of help, with some of the things that, maybe you can do to help them, and, make sure that they're Okay, so that's that. The next thing that I'm gonna touch base on is that I've gotten a lot of questions on is about moving on later on and dating and how I feel about that, and and people thinking that I should, and then so how I feel about that. So first things first, I don't really think about that much because I'm still so attached to my husband. I don't feel single. I don't see myself with anybody else. I don't generally want to be with anybody else. I don't want to be with anybody else. I hear all the time, even from my family, like but you're young, and and you deserve to have love and give love, which is true for everyone. Everybody deserves to have love and give love, and that's something that everyone in life should have. I had it, and I'm not looking for it again. I can tell you, I don't ever want to be married. That's where I stand today, right now. Never, never that. I don't. And that's fine with me. Like, I don't feel like I need someone to make me complete. I'm still living off of the love that I had for my husband. So that's what I'm doing there. And I'm not, it's only been going on 3 months. So like, of course, this is how I feel right now, right? I mean, there's people I've seen, like on YouTube, there's a lady that lost her husband. 6 months later, she was engaged. Like 6 months after that, I think she was married. So, and that to each its own. I don't judge anybody. Like, go ahead, girl, do you, like, like I don't judge anybody. But for me, that would mean for me, if I was in her same situation, I mean that I would be engaged 3 months from now. And I'm not even entertaining any of that. Like, no. Like, I'm so invested still, and my respect level is still like attached to him. I just can't, like, nobody can even come. Like, nobody can even come, so I'm not even there. So that, if anybody asks, like, or wondering, that's how I am. Like, maybe ask me, like, a couple years down the line, like, but right now, 3 months in, I don't know if anybody else is going through this and is in the same time frame as me, but do you feel the same way? Or is this just something I'm feeling? Like, because that's exactly what I'm feeling. Like, I have no room for entertainment, of any of that type of stuff. Like, I don't, no. But if somebody else does, that's you. I don't judge. Do whatever makes you feel good. Whatever makes you feel good, I feel like you should do. But me, that wouldn't make me feel good. It wouldn't make me feel good. Like, I can't do that when I'm still in love. I'm in love. I'm going to be in love for the rest of my life, so I don't ever see myself ever, being in another relationship. That's just how I feel. And that's just me. But before I end that conversation, I do want to talk about how people, in my DMs, guys in my DMs are weird. Hecka weird. Let me tell you. I actually saved one today. It's weird. If you go down my timeline on Facebook, if you go down my page on Instagram, if you go down my page on TikTok, if you go down my page on YouTube, the situation I'm in. That I lost my husband recently. That I have multiple children, and that I'm pregnant. This. So that, shooting your shot would probably not be the best thing to do. But hey, if you feel froggy, then go ahead and leap and see where it gets you. But don't feel too froggy, because the guys that've been in my messages have been feeling really froggy, and they've been leaping way too far. So the disrespect is really real with that. I have some guys that'll come in there and be like, like it started right off. Like, right off. I'm sorry to hear about your husband. My name is blah, blah. I'm this age. Okay. I don't care. Like, I do not care how old you are. Like, did I ask? Am I holding auditions? I'm this age and I like this, and like, okay, good for you. That's good for you, you know? It's the fact that you started off with, I'm sorry about your husband, but now you're trying to apply for a position that I didn't give, you know, that I'm not hiring for. So no, thank you, sir. You know? So that one was, you know, you get straight blocked with that, because don't disrespect me by, you know, telling me how sorry you are about my husband and then trying to, you know, take it that far. But that wasn't the worst one. I've got numerous, I'm sorry about your husband. Do you want company? Here's a picture. Yeah, real strange. You know, I don't understand it. Like, you know, and then some are just, you know, basic, you know, and I just try to hit it with the, because I consider, like, I don't know the, you know, a lot of the, you know, like on different platforms, you know, because I'm trying to build my channel and my brand, and, you know, I consider everyone a viewer or a supporter, and I try not to be straight, you know, on them. So I try, you know, like, oh no, you know, like they'll ask like, you know, do you, oh no, not the do you want company when she gets straight out the door. Like, what do you mean do I want company? You can just kick rocks up out of here. I don't have time for that. But the ones that, you know, I'll be like, oh no, like, you know, they'll like try to, you know, ask me more questions, and, you know, I'm like, oh no, I don't, you know, I'm not really trying to talk, you know, I'm hurting, grieving right now, and I'm pregnant. That usually works. Gets them right out of there. If you know, usually, you know, if the grieving part, lost my husband, doesn't work, the pregnant part definitely should work, right? It doesn't. It's not working anymore, because today I'm gonna put the message. I'm gonna try to insert the message so you can read along with me. I'm gonna read it to you. I received a message, and some guy came. I mean, he had a little following and stuff, and he does stuff. I don't know. He's a little, I don't know, businessy or whatever. He came in, started talking, and he started, you know, and then he's all, I'm on vacation. Maybe if I send a pic, we could chill, or nah. Sorry, just attracted. I hit back. It's going to have to be a no. You don't just lose your husband and start chilling with guys 3 months later. LOL. Like, what? I'm laughing at you. And he says, you know, you thought that would have been like, yeah, you're right. Let me leave you alone. Nope. Well, it's sort of different in this situation. What's different? Haven't talked to any men since? Question mark. Since 3 months ago? No, I have not. And I'm not about to start with you, sir. I said, no, it's not. On top of it all, I'm pregnant. So yeah, it's not going to be a thing. Not going to be a thing. You know, I'm trying to just like, you know, like, well, you know, like, because he might subscribe. You know, I don't want to like be too rude. I didn't want to be too rude. But at this point, I'm like, After well, it's sort of different in this situation. That pissed me off. So by that time I was ready to go heads in. Like, what? You should have left me alone after I said, you know, I'm going through something. I'm pregnant. Like, stop. I said no. Leave me alone, you know? So, and then he put pregnant, question mark, question mark. I'm all, yes, very. What the I don't know why I'm even entertaining at this point, because like, it's just irritating me. And like, I'm a little argumentative since, you know, all this. And he gonna say, you lying. Excuse me, sir? What exactly do I have to be lying about? So then I insert my reel, the reel that I put on my Instagram page, and it has gotten tons of views. And on the, you know, and it says that I'm pregnant in the caption. And then I send it. He says, no, no, he didn't say no. He says, about being pregnant, I meant. So basically saying, not about your husband passing away. I'm saying about being pregnant. You're lying about that. And I'm like, read the caption. And in the caption, it says, losing my husband and father of 7 children and 1 on the way. I'm pregnant. He reads it. And he says, I'm sorry, mama. Blocked. That's it. Like, who are you? Who are you? Like, who are you to be coming on, you know, in here and telling me I'm lying about anything? Why do I have to lie to you about? Like, I don't even know you. I have no cares for you. Like, don't be so rude. Don't be so rude. Like, you being on vacation and being, you know, out here has what to do with me? Like, I'm not about to stop what I'm doing and stop grieving for my husband and give, you know, it's sort of different and give you time. Like, I have no time for you. Leave me alone. I should have blocked him right in the beginning, but then he started pissing me off. So I'm argumentative. I'll argue. I should have just, you know, blocked like I've been doing everybody else. But like, he was just, it was different. Like, he was more like, what? I just told you. That was weird. Like, what gives people the right to think that they can just, you know, push their way up on you, especially when you're going through something? It's so disrespectful. That's just, so if you're a guy out there and, you know, you happen to be attracted to a female that, you know, is lost her husband, you know, just give her time. You know, give her time. Like, don't be pushing yourself up on her, you know, or sure, jump in there. Not all girls are like me, so jump in there. If you feel like she wants to give you the time, then, but don't push her into, you know. So I keep on burping, this being pregnant. Oh, say hi to the baby. You see? But you know, pushing yourself up on her because you feel like she's vulnerable, you know, is not gonna work. And it might work, and if it does, then shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Like, these men praying on vulnerable women that's going through a lot. Like, no, excuse me, no, that's not going to be a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. So that message went way too far. I let it go way too far. I shouldn't even let it go that far. I should have ended it in the beginning. But how rude of you. How rude of you to, you know, not take my no for, and I said no. And how you keep on coming, but no, this situation is different. Like, I'm out here. You need to, like, no. And then when I tell you I'm pregnant, I'm lying. Like, what do I have to lie for? Like, who are you? Like, I shouldn't even told you that. Like, bye. So that's weird. Guys are just weird. I don't get it. I don't get how somebody could be so, you know, inconsiderate and just weird, you know. So I might end up losing a lot of, you know, followers and subscribers if they want to be like that, and that's good riddance. I'll be fine with that. You know, I try to be, you know, as nice as I can be to people, but don't disrespect me. You know, like, these men think that they're entitled to something they're not entitled to, and they'll never be entitled to me. So don't do it. Don't do it, and don't do it to other women. Preying on people's vulnerability is whack. It doesn't make you look cute. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. Like, just don't do it. Well, I just didn't kick the table, made y'all shake. But yeah, so that's why I have to go with that. I just think men are disgusting. People in general can be really disgusting. And that's, you know, makes me even more of the reason why, no, I will not be dating or considering any type of marriage or relationships anytime soon. Nope. I'm still in a relationship. I'm sorry. It just is that way. You don't, you know, be with somebody for 17 years and be like, bam. I mean, are you, well, in my way, I'm sorry. I don't want to offend anyone out there that, you know, like, if you can, that's good for you. I want you to be happy, and if that works for you, I want you to do that. But for me, I cannot be in a relationship and, you know, just jump to someone else because everybody I compare to Will. Everybody I compare to him. Like, everybody. Like, you don't talk like him. You don't walk like him. You don't look like him. You don't speak like him. You know, you don't have the strength of him. You know, like, so, like, don't even put yourself in the situation right now to even try to, you know, just, you know, do that, because you will be compared and nobody compares. So that's just where it is right now. And that's how it's going to be for a long time. That's how I feel. So anybody has the question, you know, hopefully you're watching this video and you got your answer, you know. Him. I'm still with him in my heart. So that's where I'm going to be with that. But I do, you know, appreciate the people that, you know, feel that, you know, I need love and I should have love and I'm young and I shouldn't just be alone forever. I appreciate you guys all because you guys love me and you guys want to see me happy. And first I need to get to know me and, you know, love me before I can ever give myself to anybody other than the person I was with for so long. That's just how it is, and, you know, and I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that, you know. So that's that. I think that's all I had to say in this video. You know, this is my first sit down video with lights. I got the ring light up and stuff. And yeah, I probably did a lot of moving because I'm a little nervous, you know, sitting in one spot like this and just speaking, you know, like this. I don't know why. But yeah, but if you got this far in the video, I just want to thank you for being here. I want to thank all of you guys anyway for, you know, all your comments, or your prayers, just all of you, everything from everybody. I want to thank you all, and I want to, you know, say continue to come back and watch, you know, our progress, and I'm going to continue to put out, you know, content. I do have goals in this. I do, you know, want to reach people that are going through similar situations, and, you know, maybe we can, you know, just go through this together, and they can see, you know, where you can get. If you look at my first video, you know, and look at my video 3 months later, this reason why I did this, because I wanted to be able to look back at the video, you know, where I was then, to see if I was even making any progress. And I have to say I have seen progress, and that gives me hope, and I hope it gives other people hope too. So that's why I'm here. So thank you for being here. Me and my family love you guys for being here. If you can, don't forget to subscribe, like, that's always helps, and put on your post notifications so you'll know next time when I drop a video. And I'll see you next time. Love you guys all.